Listen up. This isn't an insult. It's a wake-up call. What a man says over and over again reveals exactly how far he'll go in life. Not his dreams, not his intentions, but his words. The things he repeats day in and day out are the true compass of his future. So, I'm going to share 7 things a foolish man always says. I'm going to number them clearly, so you don't miss a single one. Pay close attention, because recognizing these patterns is the first step to breaking them. First up, number 1. That's just how I am. This sentence is a dead end. It's a door slamming shut on growth, on progress, on becoming better. A foolish man uses this phrase as a shield, a way to defend his flaws instead of facing them and fixing them. He says, I have a bad temper, but that's just me. Or I'm lazy, but that's just how I am. He acts like his personality is set in stone, completely unchangeable. But life doesn't reward men who stand still. Life rewards men who evolve, who adapt, who are willing to admit they can improve. A strong man looks at his shortcomings and says, I can do better. A foolish man looks at the same shortcomings and just shrugs, saying, this is just who I am. Don't ever let that be your excuse. Now for number 2. I don't need advice from anyone. This isn't independence. It's pride wearing a mask. Every truly great man in history had mentors. They had teachers, they had coaches, they had people who spoke hard truths into their lives. They understood that you can't see the entire picture when you're inside the frame. A foolish man thinks that listening to advice makes him look weak, like he doesn't have all the answers. But here's the reality. Refusing to listen is what keeps him small. It traps him in a bubble of his own limited knowledge and experience. A wise man actively seeks out different perspectives. He knows the true strength lies in humility, in being open to learning from others who have walked the path before him. Let's move on to number 3. A classic. It's not my fault. Oh, blame feels so good for a moment, doesn't it? It shifts the weight of failure onto someone or something else. The economy, your boss, your partner, bad luck, anyone but you. But here's the problem. Blame is a progress killer. As long as it's not your fault, you have no reason to change. You have no reason to learn from the mistake. A foolish man spends all his energy pointing fingers because taking responsibility is hard. It demands that you look in the mirror and admit you messed up. It demands change. A wise man, after a failure, asks a simple but powerful question. What could I have done differently? What was my part in this? That single question is the dividing line between growth and permanent stagnation. Number 4 is a lie that has caused so much damage. Real men don't show emotions. This idea has been passed down for generations, and it has ruined countless lives. Let's be perfectly clear. Strength is not emotional silence. It's not about being a robot. True strength is emotional control and understanding. It's having the courage to feel your emotions, sadness, fear, disappointment, and process them in a healthy way. A foolish man stuffs his feelings down, hides his pain, and pretends everything is fine until it explodes. That suppressed pain often turns into uncontrollable anger, anxiety, or destructive behaviors. A wise man knows his emotions are signals. He pays attention to them, understands what they're telling him, and deals with them before they take control of his life. Alright, number 5. This one is perhaps the most dangerous word in a man's vocabulary. The phrase is, I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow. It sounds so harmless, so full of possibility. But tomorrow is where dreams go to die. Dreams don't die from spectacular failure. They die a slow death from constant delay. A foolish man is always waiting for the perfect moment. He waits for motivation to strike like lightning. He waits until he feels like it. But motivation is a fickle friend. It comes and goes. A disciplined man doesn't rely on motivation. He relies on commitment. He moves forward even when it's uncomfortable, even when he's tired, even when he doesn't feel like it. He understands that action creates motivation, not the other way around. He does it today. Next up, number 6. Money will fix everything. This is a massive trap. We live in a world that tells us if we just had more money, all our problems would disappear. Our relationships would be better. We'd be happier. We'd finally feel successful. But money can only buy comfort. It can't buy character. It can't buy you discipline, a sense of purpose, or genuine self-respect. A foolish man chases money above all else, thinking it's the ultimate prize. He sacrifices his health, his integrity, and his relationships to get it, only to find himself empty once he does. A wise man understands that money is a byproduct. He focuses on building himself first. He builds skills. He provides value to others. He develops his character. And as he becomes a man of value, money naturally follows. Finally, number 7, no one understands me. This phrase is often a smokescreen. It feels deep and mysterious, like you're a complex soul that the shallow world just can't comprehend. But more often than not, it's a cover for poor communication. The world isn't going to slow down and dedicate a team of experts to interpret your vague signals. It's your responsibility to make yourself understood. A foolish man isolates himself in a fortress of misunderstanding and calls it a mystery. He blames others for not getting him when he hasn't put in the work to express himself clearly and responsibly. A wise man takes ownership of his communication. He learns how to articulate his thoughts, his feelings, and his needs in a way that others can connect with. He builds bridges. He doesn't burn them. Now, hear this very clearly. Saying one of these things once or twice doesn't make you a fool. We all have our moments, but repeating them, using them as your go-to script without any self-reflection, that's what defines you. That's what holds you back. True growth, real change, it always begins with awareness. It starts with catching yourself before you say these words. And the man who is willing to change his words will eventually and inevitably change his entire life. If this message spoke to you, if it hit home, drop a 100 in the comments and give this video a like. And most importantly, make sure you subscribe to Word and Soul. We have so much more to share. Thanks for watching.